I mean, we've taken a lot of time. It's guys coming from different places and different backgrounds in the game, and for example, today working on some of the defending stuff, there's a lot of communication and talking because guys come from systems that are maybe slightly different, and so we want to make sure that we're seeing the same things in every play and we're making the same responses to every play. So it's taking a little extra time just to make sure we communicate through each of these scenarios, and so we're patient about it. It's been very good to you hear different perspectives, but it's to make sure we land on the same perspective of things, and that will be ultimately our perspective on how we want to play. But you get different sides of it, and but it's good. It's been great because we're really kind of working through it, and now the clarity is coming out based on how myself, Rob, and Dan, how we're seeing scenarios. They are starting to see them in the same way as a collective group, because each of them individually is seeing things sometimes the same, sometimes slightly different.
Well, I guess to build on that, then, what are you enjoying most about this preseason? It seems as though you don't get any sleep. You're always working on new things and how you can adjust and make this team better.
Yeah, it's it's ongoing. Every day is a new opportunity. We have a lot of good players, and the key is to make sure that they're all connected. They understand what we're trying to accomplish and what the system is, because we want to make sure that we're organized. Again, we're doing things collectively. So I enjoy the discussions. I enjoy sort of working through the process. Sometimes it's a little bit slow for them, but the guys who have been in bigger environments understand that slow is important, and talking and getting everybody on the same page. And then we will get them out this afternoon, the guys who aren't going to play tomorrow, and we'll get a good, fast, competitive session in so that they get their workload right today. So, but they understand this is all part of the process. But it's been great just having the individual and group conversations with guys and bantering about scenarios and making sure that we're collectively seeing them the same way.
Should we expect the reserves to play tomorrow, not the starting 11 that you hope to see in Vancouver?
Well, it'll be a mix. It won't be the same guys who necessarily played on the weekend, because the most important thing for us is that we have 20 guys who are healthy, fit. Obviously, we want a starting group to start meshing together, and for them to be fit, and like I said, giving them plenty of time to come together. But the counter to that is we want to make sure that all of our guys are ready come the time the season starts, so that they're prepared when we get going. Because once the season goes, it starts going fast, and guys need to be ready to be called upon, and this is our chance to do that, make sure everybody gets matches.
Walker has played fullback, wing, but it looks like he's playing more centrally right now. Is that something you want to move him into now?
Yeah, that's his natural position. All the fullback stuff is not really his thing. He can do it because he's good with the ball, but it's not really his defensive thing, if you will. For me, he's an 8, kind of a two-way midfielder. He covers a lot of ground. He's great at distributing the ball across the field and distributing it around the field. So he will, that'll be his natural role with us, and he'll progress over time for sure.
How close are you maybe to determining, the 11 you want to put out there in Vancouver?
Yeah, very close. I think it's a matter of 1 or 2 spots really at this point, and even then, I think we have some clarity, but we want guys to push and show that they're ready, and that they're ready for the call on the first day.
How is it going into the season though with maybe 2 wide players that aren't pure wide players, guys like Osorio who can drift out and then drift in, and I guess Robbie's been in a World Cup as a forward. What's that been like? Is it a learning curve kind of situation?
Yeah, it's a learning curve, and something we talk about often. They obviously play the role in slightly different ways. We're finding Robbie a lot of times, in positions where he's receiving balls, and he's great at receiving balls because he was a striker, and he's good at receiving balls with pressure and in tight spaces. But now it's putting Robbie in positions where he has to then find the next pass, when a lot of times he has been the guy who's been on the next pass and the final pass. So it's just working through some things with him, and us looking at scenarios and determining what scenario we like the best. We could see some different things as we progress forward.
Where are you guys in preparation? I mean, do you feel comfortable with where you are with the evolution of what you guys have gone through the last 4 weeks?
Yeah, I think we're looking forward to this one more game that we have in front of us. 2 more really for both groups, but 1 more for the group that played on the weekend, and the group that's going to play tomorrow, just to get more scenarios. To be honest, it's been fantastic to be out on these fields because it's been a little bumpy, and when it's a little bumpy, balls turn over when you shouldn't turn over, which then puts your defending group into crisis more times than they haven't, and guys get frustrated. And it's been managing that actually has been interesting, even just for camaraderie and just for guys to to not lose their composure about things. So to come out here, and U.S. Soccer has been kind enough to let us use these fields for a few days. It's actually today it started to look a lot more like soccer than it did the last couple of days, and those moments are big because some of the things that happen in the game probably wouldn't happen in a field that's a little bit cleaner, where guys take a clean first touch versus the ball bouncing up and hitting you on the knee and it turning into a turnover. So I think the spirit is right. I know there's some guys that are looking forward to the start of the season because preseason always gets long and gets to be a little bit of a grind, but I think we're in a good spot. We're just working through some defending details. That was today. So.
Thank you, Greg.